All right, let's go over yesterday's practice. You should have these problems done in your packet after your lesson 2, day 2, and let's write these equations together. So you should have written down 32 plus 24 plus x. Remember, these can go in any order when you're writing the equation, but they all need to equal 180 degrees. So when you add that together, you should have gotten 56 plus x equals 180. And when you take away 56 from both sides of the equation, make sure you're showing that work. You had x is equal to 124. So make sure you have degrees because we're directly getting an angle measure with these. All right, going on to the second one, we're finding the measure of angle A. So 70 plus 50 plus A equals 180 degrees. And 70 plus 50 is 120. You combine those like terms, subtract your 120 from both sides, and you get A is equal to 60 degrees. Moving on to row number 2. One more just like the rest. You have 55 plus 85 plus x equals 180. So 55 plus 85 gives you 140 plus x equals 180. You're going to use those inverse operations on both sides, subtracting 140 to get x is equal to 40 degrees. Now remember, on these 3 problems, these are kind of directly from the lesson. You can check back by adding up all your angles. So the angle you got plus the 2 angles already inside the triangle should add back up to 180 degrees. All right, moving on to this little more challenging one. So this is the 2 problems in one. You're finding 2 variables. So the first one I would suggest you find is the triangle, since that's what we just learned. So 62 plus 57 plus y equals 180. Combine your like terms of 57 and 62 to get 119 plus y equals 180. Subtract from both sides of the equation and get y is equal to, yes, you can use a calculator, 61 degrees. Now, the y really has nothing to do with the x in our lesson, but you do know that angles that form a straight line are equal to 180 degrees back from lesson 1. So you can take angle 57 degrees plus x and set that equal to 180 as well. Subtract from both sides to get your x angle, which is why I put think about supplementary. So that x equals 123 degrees, which makes sense since it's an obtuse angle. All right, going down to the little more challenging algebra problems. So instead of having just angle values, we have expressions. The one thing I'd like to point out is this 90-degree angle cannot be forgotten. So when you're writing the equation x plus 37 plus x plus 67, we have to include all 3 angles. So that 90 degrees does need to be included in the 180 that you get. You're going to combine those like terms. So combine those x values together to get 2x. And then you are also going to combine your whole number values that come out to 194. Yes, that is more than 180. And we talked in the lesson that that's okay for that to happen. So when you subtract 194, you get 2x equals negative 14. Takes one more step to solve for x by dividing, and you get x is negative 7. Remember, that negative 7 is not representing a direct measurement. You would have to put those measurements back in for your 2 expressions, but this is just asking for x. So we're not finding a degree measurement here. And then the last practice problem is, again, adding those angle measures up, adding the expressions up, setting them equal to 180. You have no x values to combine, so that 8x is going to stay all by itself. But you do have 3 whole number values that equal 132. When you subtract from both sides, Remember, these are all these two-step equations that you still need to know how to solve. You get 8x equals 48. And when you divide by 8, you get x is equal to 6. Again, not a degree measurement in these. It's just the value of the variable. All right, so you should have checked over your practice. You can obviously, if this moved too fast and you did not have this done and you were trying to write, you should be getting that done. And then you can always go back and watch this to check your practice.